welcome to the Unofficial Review. I'm Seeds, and this is my review. Alright, today I'm going to talk about a pretty controversial conversation, but it's getting out there quite a bit and has a lot of prevalence, so yeah, I'm just going to dive right in. So it's going to answer one question, which that question is to kneel or not kneel. That is the question. So let's see if we can figure this out. I don't know. It's one of those things where the subject is prevalent. That's one of the things as far as the why players are deciding to kneel, why players are deciding to sit during the national anthem is to bring attention to a problem that I think most people can agree exists. People are just deciding or disputing whether or not it's appropriate to do it in the platform of football, whether or not it's appropriate to bring that up in the manner that they're doing, because that's how it's being received. It's being received as that it's being I'm not saying disgraceful, but it's taken away from the troops. It's taken away from the flag, in which most people, that's why they stand. They don't stand for the flag and the national anthem because they're trying to support the ongoings of police brutality and so forth. They're not trying to support the ongoings of police shootings of innocent victims. Why they're standing is, again, for the flag itself as a representation of this country, and for the troops who die and fight for that flag. So that's where I think, to me, where the issue lies, and that's more or less the biggest common issue that a lot of people have with these players just choosing to make a statement in this manner. Is it's more or less not necessarily the message that they have the biggest problem with. It's more how they're trying to send that message by essentially stepping on the flag, stepping on the troops. Because regardless to whether or not that's what they're perceiving it as, I mean, I know I think it was Michael Bennett was saying himself that the reason that he's sitting is actually in respect for the troops and respect for the flag, and I would disagree. That might be his intent, but how everyone takes that is prevalent too. Again, it's showing respect to the troops, showing respect to the flag in which they die for, and the flag in which they fight for. And so that's where the issue lies. And for me, I would rather see the NFL step up and take initiative on this. And by that, I don't mean tell these players to stand or so forth, but for me, give them another direction in which they can send that message. I think it would be very appropriate, at least to me. I don't know if this would be off the wall, and people just don't want some players just to use football at all in any way, shape, or form. To send their own personal messages, but I do think that for me, I would be fine if they had a color, as far as a ribbon or a band or some form of clothing that you could have in addition to your uniform, just like they have breast cancer awareness, and have an awareness for this cause, rather than making a gesture that a lot of people feel is disrespectful towards the troops and disrespectful for the flag in which those troops fight for. So I think that's really where the problem is. It's just more or less how the message is being sent, not the message itself. And I think that would actually be able to be received more by a lot more people, because it would focus on the message rather than focusing on how they're sending it. And that's I don't know. I've talked to people on both perspectives of the situation, who don't find it offensive, the gesture that they're making, and many people who do find it offensive. But many times it's not the message itself that people are opposed to. It's more or less just how it's being done, in that it looks like they're stepping on one demographic of people to help another. And I think most of us can agree that those people that they're seeking to help need help, and that they should be represented, and that it shouldn't be just an accepted statistic. But on the same hand too, I also don't agree with how these football players are choosing to send that message, in that I have many ties within the military, and that's what I see when I see that. That's what I feel, is that they're essentially choosing that their pain is more important than other people's pain. And so for those people who have lost loved ones for that flag, fighting for that flag, then that's what they feel. Is they feel like you're stepping on their pain to help another person's pain. And I think most of us, like I said, can agree that we shouldn't tolerate that type of persecution. On the same hand too, I don't think you should persecute another demographic of people to make yourself known. And so, like I said, I think that it would be an awesome gesture if they were able to wear articles of clothing while they play games, to draw this attention, to have the media coverage of it, talking about the subject, talking about its awareness. But like I said, it's more or less just the timing. It seems like the improper time to be addressing a situation when you're trying to respect another group of people. Anyhow, that's my personal beliefs on it. I think that, with multiple players getting involved, and it's probably just going to spread. I mean, this is the preseason. We have yet to actually get into the regular season. I'm sure that there's plenty of players who are essentially risking their job, so to speak. Not necessarily getting fired, but they're definitely risking an extension. They're risking when they hit free agency, somebody wanting to pick them up because of this gesture that they're making, and the say taboo-ness of it all. The unpopular manner in which it's being sent can to rub people the wrong way. So they're essentially risking money. So I do think that is a very strong gesture, in that they're willing to do that, especially after they see Colin Kaepernick get scrutinized for that action. Is that the players now who are doing it are say essentially risking more than Kaepernick, because they know the consequences, or potential consequences of their actions. So I do say I'll give them credit for being able to be that bold and that sacrificial. But at the same hand, too, many men and women have made the ultimate sacrifice for this country, and so to me, I feel that they should continue to be honored. And if we're going to address issues, I do feel like it needs to be in another manner. But anyhow, I'm sure there'll be plenty more to talk about as the year goes on. This is Seeds checking off for an unofficial review. Back to you.